Welcome back to is it me? Or there's an echo? Because we moved the studio a little bit. So please tell me in the chat and in the comment below if I did the echo cancellation. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Perfect. Now, testing 1, 2, 1, 3. So welcome back to the Agile Lounge, to this Friday Live Agile for the 89th time. It's incredible. So once again, I'm Alexandre Frédéric Joly, your coach AF. Coach of what? I don't know. Is it Agile? And by the way, there's still an invitation for any one of you who would like to actually participate in a roundtable, an open microphone. I hope to do it this fall before the next Scrum Beer. Yes, we're going to announce a couple of things before we go into the core of our subject about Agile Pro, professional service, or for Prodige. Are we prodigious? Are we? I don't know. So we'll talk about it today. It's kind of a test run for me about something that I would like to please my team with. And once again, if you'd like my folly, my amazing daring, because we at the Agile Lounge, my team and I, we dare because we care. We care about not being the Scrum police, as some people try to tag us, not become the Agile police, no, but the truthfulness, the more in real life, practical, meaningful agility, business agility, and real Scrum, you see on the back. Maybe it's too far away, but Agile software development with Scrum, 1997, keep evolution. We are not stuck in the past. We are not stuck in 2001. We make it evolve to the context and the reality of the new challenge that we face in the marketplace. It's all about business, guys. It's business. All of my clients want to do money, return on investment. But to do this, we have to please our customer and we have to elevate our employee. This is the key element, the key important thing. So I don't see anyone. It seems to be quiet on this Friday, October the 14th, for episode 88. Sorry, I made a mistake, 88. And I'm sorry, I apologize if I'm late, because I was serving one client. It's really important to have the client. And by the way, if you yourself want to become one of our trainee, one of our coachee, and one of our clients, go to agile-lounge.com for more. And you could see our values, our principle, the proposed patterns, our signature workshop as well. Very practical, hands-on workshop. So go there and contact us. It will be a pleasure. Anna, Elizabeth, or myself, or even sometimes Jonathan, Samuel, I salute them. Great coach, great Scrum Master, great product designer. So if you need something from A to Z, product development as well, digital transformation, please contact us. And I'm working also with Online Business System, an amazing team that serve the world with meaningful digital transformation, customer engagement, and more in Agile professional services to help you deliver these, because this is what we're going to see today. And I'd like to thank, and we received this week an amazing amount of, and please start holding it. And you have two ways now to kind of cheer us and give you your tips. It's a tips. We are not asking for donation, but if you like what we do, on top of smash the like button, especially on YouTube and on Rumble, you could also do like Matthew did this week, Andrew, Giovanna, Christina, Isabel, Jennifer. A lot of people send us Satoshi, Bitcoin. Yes, it's very important that you could do it like them. If you're on YouTube and on Rumble, you have the link in the description to do so. Actually, for the Bitcoin, you ask us the SIG, and we'll send you the SIG by email. And through your email, after your donation, you could send us a comment, a suggestion of topic, and everything. But actually, you don't have to give a tips to write to us and give us any recommendation of topics that you would like. We address at the Friday Live Agile as well as the Day Real Agile podcast. So yeah, some people ask me what's the difference between Friday Live Agile and the They're Real Agile? Well, They're Real Agile, it's a monthly podcast, mostly do audio. We try to have meaningful guests, as we did last month, as we did also a couple of times with Michael Herman, Daniel Mizik, Sabine Fable was our last guest with 90 Days Scrum, very meaningful thing. And we have upcoming at this end of the month, we are going to welcome Isabel Gerard, a great coach from Lyon, France. It's going to be in English, by the way, because yes, 87% of our 5,050, today, 50. Amazing. Thank you very much. And we reached 1,000 download a month. So it's amazing. We are going through everywhere from India to Brazil, by United States, and I saw a lot of Northern European, and I still think I'm wearing it right now, the perfume sent as a gift from the Scrum Mistress in Oslo. So thank you very much about it. So anyways, a lot of things that's happening right now, mid-October already. Could you believe it? 2022, it's on its way out. And speaking of, on the 22nd, Agile Boston, my colleague over at Agile Boston, they do give thanks to Scrum, the 14th annual Give Thanks to Scrum, with the presence of Mr. Dr. Jeff Shutterland. I might also on the Pine Common of YouTube and Rumble, we are going to put the information if you'd like to register. But if you'd like a IRL and a real life dinner person, the Scrum Beer number 19 will be announced very soon, and you will have to purchase your tickets, because the deal I made with my friends, and not just friends, they're friends, but the owner of a great pub in Montreal, they want me to guarantee that I will have the 15 lucky people to come have a drink, have a nice lunch, still Oktoberfest, pubish, Irish, stuff things. And so if I book the place on a Wednesday before Christmas, you have to be there, because last time at the Crew Collective, 20 people, even with tips, it was booked, it was sold out. So I have to put the will call. But at the Crew Collective, I kind of don't mind. And only 7 people showed up. But now for November the 23rd, it's a Wednesday night. I'm going to book space in a nice pub. And they have a lot of reservations, especially because they have also a comedy show happening there. So a lot of people come and dine. So I will please, if you subscribe, come and bring someone with you, because we're going to limit it to about 15, 20 people again. And to ensure your trust and collaboration, we might ask you to put some kind of engagement into it. Because I cannot let down my friends, especially after the 2 years we went through. So they cannot say no to other reservation if we are not showing up. So I'm counting on you. Check your email. If you're not subscribed to our value list, please do so. Again, YouTube and Rumble, you should find the link to subscribe to our amazing value list. Yes, because we are only announcing the Scrum Beer and sometimes some very, very special news or collaboration that we do. So we are not spamming. You could expect maximum 1 email per month around the mid-month. So we're going to do this one for the Scrum Beer number 1. So you're more than welcome to do this. So back to, I'd like to read you something before we go into deep of the subject of Agile professional services and how the Agile coach should collaborate with sales teams to not sell Agile, because again, Agile is not a thing you buy. Agile is a thing you are. And from being Agile, you will develop patterns to help elevate your employee, to help satisfy the customer experience, and so on. And with the sales process, could be a great asset within the sales process, and as well when you go further deep on, you sell anything else in your professional service or consultancy firm. And Agile, again, is not a methodology. It's an approach. It's a way of uncovering it, especially in a complex product development, or it could be still a project, and you need to be more flexible. Replace Agile by flexible, and here you have it. So it's not just in a solving problem solution. We'll see about it. It's more like an add-on to any solving problem and solution because you face complexity. If it's complicated, you might still want to follow the PMBOK. But if it's complex or new and you need discovery, maybe the Agile approach with those 4 values and 12 principles that will help you create dynamic patterns, that might be an asset. And how the consultancy firms should target not an Agile transformation, but an help, a coaching on assisting the client and the delivery of its digital transformation. So that's the thing. But before we go in that subject that I know, because I receive a lot of private message that you can wait about it, and we'll do it before the hour. And I will open up to Q&A and MA towards the end of the show. And I could even open a Zoom audio for you to call me in. I don't see so much activity today. And there's a topic that's coming as well about this, the shadow banning. As you know, I have 5,000 now downloading the podcasts monthly. That's great. I get a great interaction by email, by donation and stuff. And you could also buy me a coffee now. Thank you again, Grietti, for that, because it's a great tips. It's a great way because I love coffee. And so, and yes, the merch side, it's coming. The merch side, it's coming. Again, I'm serving my client first, and then I'm taking care of the extra like today. But if you'd like to show your support, Bitcoin always welcome. And now buy me a coffee. That's great. It's the subject that it's about the shadow banning, because that's funny. The second big social network I have, it's LinkedIn, about 3,000 followers. And then after, I've got these little Rumble. Please help me on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, glove it. Glove it is like a thumbs up, and subscribe. I only have 13 subscribers there. Please, we could do better. And I would like to welcome the 25 new followers on YouTube. This is amazing. It's probably one of our peak weeks. From last week, 25 new, almost 700 now. That's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Obrigado, because I know a lot of you are from Brazil. Muchas gracias por la comunidad de México. Y, how could I say in Hindi? Again, it sounds like Arabic, but maybe I will have an accent. It's Shakrawi. Is Shakrawi? Correct me and give me a link for me to hear the proper pronunciation in Hindi, because I have a lot of friends, colleagues from India that are subscriber on both the Day Real Agile and the Friday Live Agile. So that's why I'm curious, because last week what we did about Talent Agile, the Friday one, not the Wednesday one from Europe, because we're testing it. We had only, as I said, 13 subscribers on Rumble, 2,000 views, and a lot of likes and a lot of comments. YouTube, almost 700. I think we reach 20 views, so I don't get it. And LinkedIn, let's not talk about LinkedIn. I'm testing stuff right now. 8 a.m., expect a replay live rewatch at 8 a.m. It seems that this Wednesday 8 a.m. thing have more view, but it's still not interactive. So we're going to test a couple of things, because our important is not the quantity, it's the quality of exchange that we could have together. And let me do, because someone is writing me on Twitter that maybe something is going wrong. So sorry for the feedback. Let's see if, but it's still not interactive. So we're gonna, now we're there. So thanks anyway. But maybe for those who watch on Twitter, just refresh and you might have the song, because I have the song here on my control panel. All right, so let's kick the show. Sorry about that. I'm so enthusiastic. So 13 year of Bitcoin. Yes, in January, there was a 13 year of the white paper. So 2009, it's when it all started. And I don't want to make so much time about it, but I saw a very beautiful tweet from Sean Lennon praising this movement, because people, you have to understand, Bitcoin, it could be seen as a commodity, and some people say it's the 21st century commodity that will replace gold, that was a sounding commodity of the 19th century. Okay, so in my case, I don't want to get into this debate of things about, is it a commodity or is it a security and so on. So for me, I really stick with the manifesto, the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto. about the exchange, about giving the opportunity for the bankless, those without access to credit or bank, to actually, have access to a way of exchanging, like more structure, more controllable, but it's portable, it's free and everything. So for me, I'm more in that movement of having an alternative way and to make exchange with people who otherwise with a central banking system won't be able to do this. So that's why I'm part of a movement of crazy orange pill, hold it to the moon and everything. And that's the thing. On October 13, yesterday, that was the real anniversary of this blockchain technology. And then with the Lightning coming in, it's going to be very great. So I would like to read you the tweet that I found very profound and very because artists are visionary, and sometimes they help us in the business. It's about right and left brain and reason and intuition coming together and working as one. So that's why I would like to read you the tweet for this anniversary from Sean Lennon. Yes, here it is. So this is from Sean Lennon, open quote. Forget crypto, bros, and NFT and all the meta shit verse, and whether mining use solar panels or not. This is about the potential for the ruling class to take complete control over their subjects. Or inversely, the potential for the people of the world to finally be free and exchanging. Satoshi made real freedom possible. Sean Lennon. So it's quite kind of aggressive, but it resumed the 15 points of the white paper wrote by Satoshi somewhere between 2008 and 2009 in the last crisis. So I invite a lot of people, even for $50 right now, as it's the lowest, but it's the lowest. It's not the lowest in history because it's keep growing. Bitcoin keep growing, even though a lot of people will tell you it lost 52% of his value from the middle of the pandemic to right now. You have to understand that the lowest it was in the 2011 around $1, $1.29, about 10 years ago. So the 19,000 US dollars value for Bitcoin right now on October 14, it's the all-time high we had before the big hype and high during the pandemic. Because for some reason, I don't know, the preppers were getting there and so on. So anyways, so if you'd like to know more, and I know a lot of people ask me some question about it, so we might do a Friday Live Agile show about crypto. And it's not financial advice. I'm a business consultant, so I'm just an enthusiast, and I'm an early adopter of Bitcoin back in 2009. And it's about this movement of bankless, of exchanging over investing. So according to the question of my crowd, we're going to do a show to kind of be objective about it. And speaking of the Real Agile, we have a couple of new podcasts episode available now: Spotify, Amazon, Audible, and Apple Podcasts. So once again, if you're watching on YouTube and Rumble, all the links are in the description for you to follow us anywhere you want. So without further ado, what are Agile professional services? Well, for that, it's easy. You could still go to my website and go to the services page, and you do have a broader offer of what are the Agile professional services. But again, I'd like to remind you that this is not, Agile is not a thing. It's not a services per se. So it's a caveat sometimes when we call it Agile professional services. It's like project management services. It's like it's nothing to do about it, because Agile, again, it's an adjective. It's an adjective that, with what the guys did in Utah 22 years ago for software development, but now is evolving with business agility, because you could agilize everything across your organization, and not just in software development, not just in product development either. It's everything. Okay, agile and sales is there. So when we coin the term agile professional services, what we mean exactly, so I know it could be too small on my old iMac, but this is the X-wing diagram of what you could expect from an agile coach, or even a scrum master if you do scrum. From a coach, let's simplify the language. What we expect from a coach to bring you with more agility in your doing and your patterns. So this X-wing diagram, it's already there, positioning the services. There's 4 main things that we could call professional services with agile. So that's the mindset. It's, of course, everything to do a kind of a discovery with the client, a discovery assessment, the readiness for them is the, as I said before, the product development, the services delivery is, and big complexity, ambiguity, uncertainty. You need to discover more things. So we'd like to help you at first assessing it, to see your readiness, and on next to it, and that services, that professional services that a coach could provide with a firm or direct, is we could also do the maturity measurement, because a lot of our clients will say, oh yes, we are agile and we do agile stuff. Okay, so on top of assessing if the agile approach or a lean approach, or what type of framework we could suggest your team to use within any systems to deliver and to produce your goods. So this is the assessment. So one of the agile professional service, it's about assessment and readiness, not only to be agile, but also if agile will be the right proposition for your delivering services. Number 2, it's teaching. So of course, after the assessment, and by the way, the 1, 2, 3, 4 could be standalone services that an agile team sells, could actually, I should say, sales teams or professional services, business development. You could have all of these 4 that I'm going to go through as a standalone offer, services offer, and it could be on demand. Because the teaching, sometimes they come through the teaching. Sometimes they need the coaching because they don't want the training. So, and the assessment could be a standalone type of things. And you do recommendation. And of course, in the recommendations could be a pre-sales for the other 3 that follow. But it's not a sequence like in waterfall. You don't do assessment, teaching, coaching, and then the rest. That could be seen as a great path or journey, but you know us at the Agile Lounge, we do it differently. We do it with the CAS, coaching, consulting, agility as a services. So, and that could be actually for specific contract and agile contract management. So that being said, number 2, it's teaching. You teach the client through hands-on learning. So this is our signature pattern at the Agile Lounge. So that's why I'm insist. We could do academic training if you'd like, but what is worth it? Time is money, and you want a return on investment very fast. And so this is why the big firm, they hate us, because in more and more medium-sized and even large-scale size organization and team within organization of any size come to us at the Agile Lounge to have those specific hands-on training. Okay, it's tailored workshop because we're gonna do assessment. It's always there because we listen. Because here's the key point in Agile professional services: listen. Take a step back and listen to what your client needs in B2B and what their client B2C needs from them. You have to listen to that. It's customer first. Agile is people first. And also here, pay attention to what the workers went through and what they wish to do as people who perform the work. So in the teaching, we're going to tailor these. And it could be, so the services of teaching could be online, virtual, in person, a mix, everything. And we could teach, especially at the Agile Lounge, we have a broader experience and everything agile agnostically without framework. And if you want to go through specific system, we could teach you about the system of Scrum that could help you enable your framework from the Scrum Foundation. And of course, we could have everything we could teach you about knowing more about the value of a Kanban, CI/CD, DevOps type of things. And beyond IT also, we could teach even hands-on any other department of your organization, from finance through do we say human resources or we say people care? I think we say people care. Let's stick to the people care. And recruitment, we have a great talent agile signature workshop to help you hire the best and decipher who is. And even though this is the kind of thing you could receive, coach interview questions for your recruitment people and how to decipher the fake from the real coach. Oh, yes, this is amazing. So we do that too. And we do that for finance. What's the bottom line agility? Well, how do you measure the return of investment? How do you for security and everything? So business agility touch everything. You agilize everything in your organization. And number 3, it's coaching. Because teaching, it's a very specific moment of what you need to know. It's a need to know basis, okay? And start applying stuff. But with coaching, it's even more hands-on because now we're going to do it with you at some point. So it's a neutral process to help you onboard your team or your organization to adapt the agility that you choose to move on with, okay, with any other systems, and the creation of your own framework of customer relation, employee elevation, and everything. And the 4th one is it's everything about leadership. It could include mentorship, and mentorship in the business scale. It's really a leadership advisory. So a great coach, will help leadership and lead and the competency to create, for instance, a community of practice or community of expertise or something like this to dynamize the thing. So it's mentoring at this level, because we could offer mentora one-on-one and coaching one-on-one, but that's another services too on the individual basis. And Agile professional services will include this leadership advisory and more. We have to do it in partnership of your business and IT and all customer segment leader that you might have in your organization to help you be more creative and the process of agility itself, adaptation or not, and you could listen more to the market. So giving you some cue. And these type of the 4th ways of services goes to what a lot of certification body out there, and I won't name it for now, but if you could go on my LinkedIn, go to a pine comment from Daniel Mizik that I praise still, the call out to those certified body organization in coaching and Agile and Scrum. They forget about the important stakeholders, executive. We have to also teach and coach executive, and this leadership advisory type of Agile professional service will get you through that. If you propose something around those lines of strategic consultation and Agile leadership facilitation, that will be a win, because we did it in the last 5 years, -1 with the thing. So these are what are Agile professional services in a nutshell as an introduction. And a lot of people will ask us the question, who is the buyer? Well, the buyer, again, who is the buyer of Agile professional services? Agile is an adjective. So you have your professional services of digital transformation, of a security system, of a customer relation management system, or it could be also product development assistance, could be an e-commerce deployment, it could be web development, again, like strictly, it could be everything about user experience, customer experience, everything in technology and process, could be anything about servicing internally your people care with professional development and what have you, could be implementation of a SharePoint, team sites, Jira, Confluence, all of it. These are the professional services. These are the expertise of a great firm like Online Business System that I'm so pleased to work with. Okay? So you have mainly product and web development that touch a big umbrella of services, including customer engagement within call centers or virtual call center with live chats and everything. You have the digital transformation, because again, I would like to remind my audience that it's evolution over transformation, and I don't believe anymore, after 25 years of practice, an agile transformation doesn't exist no more. We have the evolution of the agile mindset and the agile pattern through client adoption of those practice patterns within their actual digital transformation and business transformation that they want to go through, okay, to adapt to the market and to their client and also their employee, because the employee now have different needs, different perspective, remote working and so on. So there's no agile transformation. You will use the adjective of agile within your professional services of digital transformation, web development, and any complex delivery of anything and organization of any size. Got it? If you got it, smash the like button everywhere you could do it, from LinkedIn to Facebook. Smash the like button on YouTube if you just get what I just said. And comment below your questions. If you disagree with me, give me a thumbs down on YouTube and Rumble and tell me why. Tell me why I need to learn. I'm learning from YouTube. Okay? So again, agile is great and complex delivery and complex process. If you have the VUCA, again, for the newbie, VUCA, it's volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of everything throwing at you. It's complex. You are facing a black swan. And by the way, a black swan could be positive or negative, but most of the time they're seen as negative, and you have to go through it. So it will require agility for any delivery of these professional services. So once again, who are the buyer? Well, I've got 5 channels of buyer of agile professional services. And let's put ourselves in the context here. The context is agile gives the buyer, the person in charge, the person who decides, the clarity of authorization here in your organization and your business. Who is the one who's signing the check at the end of the month? It gives that buyer extraordinary freedom to adapt to what is discovered during the delivery. Okay, because again, the assessment is not a step like in waterfall. The assessment could go through. You always do continuous improvement, continuous delivery, continuous assessment, inspect and adapt. This is the core of agility with people first. Interaction between people. New information arise. So, of course, an agile contract management that goes with agile professional services. The context of the buyer is that. Okay? However, let's be frank. This freedom for the client, the buyer, could guide to the solution direction makes that the buyer makes. He's more accountable. He's the real business owner. He owns it. And we know, coach of my level that listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. Ownership. You might be the CTO, the CIO, the CISO, or whatever, the one who will need these services, and you'd like to add on this agile adjective approach. You sign the contract, you sign the check, you are accountable for the business outcomes. You become the super product owner. And one of my training to introduce agility to all levels of leadership, I show the example of Steve Jobs. He was accountable for the iPhone launch of May 2007. Elon Musk for SpaceX. Jeff Bezos for the AWS. So remember, you might be the CEO, the billionaire. You are the main business owner. You are the owner. You are the creative or not. And if in your case you're not, so that's why we put the context of who is the buyer, the one who asks you a services, any other services that would like to add on the agile. And if you do an agile contract management, that is the extraordinary freedom of adapt to what is discovered during delivery. So it's a very, very, very holistic service agreement with a lot of annex. Going back to the 4 type of services, you could have an annex, an addendum to your contract with a specific scope of work of teaching a couple of teams or pilot teams, coaching and onboarding these teams of doing things. And so you have a service agreement, agile contract management, that goes with those 4 type of services that will nourish according to that freedom to adapt that we discover during the delivery. And you might have your other service agreement very clear about what we deliver in terms of digital transformation, of term of product development and web deployment and everything else. So anyway, so that's the context. So number 2, and who is the buyer? You have the usual suspect. The usual suspect, according to Gartner reports and according to also digital.ai, the 15th state of Agile, which is 2021. And I'm guessing, yes, it's every spring. So around March, we should have the 2022 report, the 16th one. But according to the 2021 that went out this spring, 86% of the key stakeholders that ask or decide about contracting for an agile transformation, this is the question they ask right now, are the CIO. And CIO could stand for 2 things most of the time, and they made, especially the digital AI, they tell us it could be the Chief Information Officer, which is IT, or it could be Innovation Officer, could be in charge of innovation. So of course they see Agile as an asset of innovation. CTO, and I think this one stands for Chief Transformation Officer. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comment. I'm not perfect, but that's my understanding. Or CTO could be something else, but mostly is the transformation officer that will like, because remember, according to Gartner and digital AI and the conventional world of Agile, there's still Agile transformation. So anyways, and it could be also a director of application services, software development, all of these. So 86% are a manager, a leader, a C-level board member. It's 86% are the key sales. This is our usual suspect. So if you're a sales professional, I'm not saying that you should target those, but you should pay attention and hear if they might need an add-on of Agile to your professional services. The third aspect of who is the buyer, which is trending now, especially since the last 3 years. It started a little bit before the pandemic, but within the pandemic, of course, there was a full-on VUCA that I described before, full-on black swan. So especially with a digital transformation. So what's trending now? And that's what I said, since 2019, we see more requests directly from the CEO, because before it's always the CEO on the board. It's like, you the CIO, you the CTO, the CISO, deal with it. Now the CEO of companies of any size, by the way, could be a startup all the way up to a crowdfunded organization. The CEO and also specific business owner that will bypass the centralized decision-making of the board and everything. And they go through asking for a pilot team or a pilot section of their organization to mostly have this agility service of what we call onboarding a pilot team. That's really trending right now. So if you are a consultant or an executive coach working closely with the sales teams, have these great coffee with CEOs and business owner, because you might unleash the possibility for you to sell these type of professional services with Agile, specifically on the onboarding pilot team, and also all of these coaching on demand. We talk in number 4 about Agile leadership, leadership adoption, executive coaching, business coaching, anything. It's everything about strategic and tactical intervention, and it's going to be what I'm testing right now, and it's going well. It's going very well. The CAS. Consulting, coaching, agility as a service on demand specifically. So this is the trending now as your buyer, the business owner itself and the CEO that will work with you, and then he will present you the team. So that's great, interesting thing. Number 4 on this, who is the buyer for Agile professional services? You have, what are your actual clients' experience? What is the data that you have on getting agile services into play? Because maybe you have a long relationship of a digital transformation in implementing customer relation management system, Salesforce systems, call center systems, and everything. And now these guys who are signing the check, you have to pay attention towards. And I don't think we will have time to this show, as I will do in my presentation, probably more succinctly, because it's just to spark your mind about this. But there's a couple of powerful questions that a salesperson, with the help of an agile coach, could ask to that buyer. And this buyer, it's your actual customers. So every consultant that works from any firm doing any work, they should pay attention to the needs. Okay, will they need to actually? Do we need coaching and teaching about agile to perform things? We might do a very quick assessment. So all of those 4 main services to your actual customer who, and again, don't sell an agile transformation, just sell them maybe a Scrum Foundation training to spark the mind of a team to try this, or a DevOps, teach DevOps, something like this. So maybe you could hear about the complexity of a new project, a new product development, or maybe they have the pressure to, behind me, it's twice the work and half the time. Not the pressure of having more productivity, but they might want to go to market faster. So maybe the Scrum system adapted to their software development cycle could be an help. So your actual customer, you could have a lot to sell this agile mindset to them, the agile pattern they could create to perform better. So just pay attention to those. And 5, what's next? What's next for 2023 and beyond? Well, with the continuous spread of this agile value and this agile as a noun, I'd like to remember my audience and everyone that you should come back to the essential of this is an adjective qualificative to help you be more flexible and so on. And the business agility and the agile leadership are the true revolution, because this is the management of the future. And the future is now. Listen again, listen. Not listen to me. Listen to the market. Listen to your customer. Listen to your employees. And you'll see the power of agility needed for you to adapt to those requests, to those demands. So the next step is, as a buyer, anyone who actually want to improve, anyone who would like to be in a continuous mindset of doing the things, and beyond IT, as I said, and more requests are from business, mainly customer experience and product development team. Okay, and this might be this other CIO, instead of information and technology officer, is the innovation officer, not necessarily a techie guy. And they understand that one of those 12 principles to create the pattern of working together within the team, IT and business together, delivering meaningful, satisfying experience to their customer as well as the employee. So that's that, guys. That's what we have in a nutshell, because I see the hours is going back. So I don't know if there's people in the chat who have a question on this live streams on this Friday, October the 14th. And if you are rewatching it, especially on Rumble and YouTube, that will stay forever on my channel. And by the way, subscribe and hit the bell. Every Friday, 12 Eastern Standard Time, or Daylight Saving Time, blah, 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 12 noon Eastern. We are here live with subject, and coming soon next week, maybe a surprise with another decor. We'll see if my guests show up. Twinkle to you if you're listening. And so let's go back to do the running on this. So not much. So I know that Rose on LinkedIn, you have Boomi, Sony, Anita, Sushil, Rose. If you have any question, if you're there, please hit me right now, because the show's going to end in about 10 minutes. And whoops. Sorry for the feedback. So basically, of course, if I give you like the beginning of what could be this this agile professional services. Okay, with what are the services that could benefit from the agile mindset and patterns, and who is the people to listen to, who are your buyer. But there's more to it. We're going to do a role play with my collaborator about how to listen and assess the agile needs, and list of triggers and powerful. So maybe tell me in the comment below if you'd like me to come back with a takeaway of my real session I will do. And again, there's also the 3 value qualification of a client, with about what is the practice at your client, what is the behavior of the people, including the client of your client, and what are the type of performance. And we're talking about KPIs being replaced by OKRs more and more. And again, it's key performance or productive index for KPIs. And it's objective key result for this. For the performance, is the measurement aspect now for the bottom line agility. That's very important. So the 3 value qualification of your client on a client-centric approach of lean, agile, intelligent maturity assessment is the BPP, as I like to call it, with the ETA4. It's behavior, patterns, and performance. What are the behavior of every stakeholders, including the client of your client? What are the patterns in place to produce the business outcomes? It's outcome-driven from your client, employees as well, by the way. And what are the team cycle objective or the team objective key result for performance and process measurement and improvement? So have this in mind. And it should help you like getting through not selling agile for say, that's the caveat, but selling a meaningful professional services that will include a truthfulness of the agility ways of helping, coaching, and teaching the organization you'd like to serve and digital transformation or business change and everything, utilizing this agile and all of the other systems that may be adapted and tailored to your client needs. So that's my message to you on this beautiful Friday, October the 14th, for the 88th episode, celebrating also the 13 years of the blockchain revolution of the sovereign digital identity and banking and exchanging the Bitcoin, I name. And I remind you, check your email for my 5,000 subscriber all across the board. The Scrum Beer number 19 will happen on the Wednesday, November the 23rd, in person as a dinner with your commitment, because I made a commitment yesterday to my business owner that I will have 20 people at the table for a 5 set, a place that needs to be respected, because they went through difficult hours during the pandemic. So now if I said I book for 20, I hope, and if you book also, you're going to show up having meaningful conversation and the spirit of give thanks to Scrum, kind of a Thanksgiving dinner that we're going to have together in a beautiful, amazing pub in downtown Montreal. So stay tuned for the announcement and the invitation to register and commit to come with us and exchange and networking in a great, great place with great food, great alcohol, and everything. So, and once again, I know 75% of you are not subscribed to YouTube and Rumble, and you are watching it more than half the show. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe and hit the bell. And I'm so happy always to be before you every Friday. And once again, I'd like to learn from you. So in the comment below, please tell me how to improve, not about the technicality, lights and sound. That could be welcome too, but mostly about suggest me your subject you'd like us to address, or any guests that might want to come to our open mic. And by the way, next week, we might have a surprise guest in a special settings to do just an open mic about agility, the state of Agile right now. So this is next show, Friday Live Agile 89. and the Real Agile number 43 podcast at the end of the month. We're going to welcome Isabel Gerard, a great coach, a great enterprise agile lead in Lyon, France. It's going to be in English, and we're going to talk about our number 4 professional services some way. How is beyond agile leadership? I think we had a great conversation because, again, at the Real Agile, we don't do anything like others. We don't do interviews. And I remind you that we dare because we care. And I thank again Andrew, Tony, and more for your Satoshi. And you can now buy me a coffee. So you go to my website and you see that cup of coffee spreading around the screen. You click on it and you send me a coffee. What a great way to cheer me up and thank me of my folly and audacity of doing this freely for you. But it's always appreciated to receive your appreciation and especially your requests of subject that we have a great lineup right now for the entire 2023. But please continue to contact me. I love it. And as always, remember who you truly are. You are a wonderful person. You are a powerful person. And you are free to be whoever you wanted to be and to do whatever you wanted to do. But remember the golden rule and respect of one another. On that, have an amazing weekend and see you next week.